I'm going to show you two incredibly different videos that have one important thing in common, and I'd like you to tell me what that is. What is that common thread between both of them? Now, the first video may be a little bit difficult for some folks to watch. It has quite a lot of imagery from the Confederacy.
Thank you all for coming today. 2,000 men are buried here. How did they die? They died as traitors to their country. They died to preserve the institution of slavery, the right to own,
Let's go. I don't want to hear
breed,
I don't want to hear this.
rape,
Let's go.
and kill their fellow humans with impunity. Don't touch me.
Let's go.
Probably a Democrat voter too, aren't you?
Hey, Doug.
As vice, Doug, we got a problem. I'm not doing anything. I'm just talking.
He's talking to me.
Hey, come on.
I have every right to be here as they do.
No. This is federal property.
Speak,
Right. It's federal property.
and it's not.
It's a public property.
You're not here to speak.
Yes, I am.
You're not.
I brought this.
As a
The
northerner, I'm
Confederate
telling you to shut the
battle
fuck up.
flag is not only a flag of defeat.
You need to leave. Get the police.
It is a flag of degeneracy, depravity,
You're a
and
degenerate.
perversion.
Your mom's probably a degenerate too.
You need to go. You need to go, boy.
At least one American slave trader.
Can you talk to me real quick?
2,000 men are buried here.
I'm investigating.
How did
disorderly
they
if you-
die?
Okay, come on, let's go, dude. I just need you to come over here. I'm investigating
I'm
a
on a
trespass.
public sidewalk.
Yeah, you're being disorderly too because you're screaming
I'm-
and freaking out,
I'm
causing a
talking.
distraction. No,
I have a right to talk.
come
That's
sit over
free
here.
speech.
I know you have a right to talk. That's fine. But I
Take
need
your
you to
hands off me,
I need
please.
you to come over here because
Please take your hands
we're
off me.
investigating a trespass because you're on
Please
their property.
unhand me.
I'm not handing you.
You are handing
Dude,
me. Get your hand off of
Come
me.
sit over here. That's all I'm asking.
Get your hand off
That
me.
is it.
Am I free to go?
No. So we are investigating a criminal trespass
I am
now because you were
exercising my
there.
right to remain
To
silent.
okay, that's fine. Just sit over here.
No.
You're detained right now.
This is the director of the cemetery. He has something to say to you.
Sir, I'm asking that you be trespassed from the cemetery because of disturbance.
You're good. Thank you, sir. Everything's on body camera. Okay, sir. Basically, if you go up into the cemetery's property again, you can and will be arrested, okay?
Where does the property begin?
Huh?
Where does the property begin?
Steps.
Yeah, bottom of the steps.
In his autobiography, Frederick Douglass describes the cowskin whip. Quote, "The cowskin is made entirely of untanned but dried oxhide and is about as hard as a piece of well-seasoned live oak." Hey!
Stop it! Stop it!
Hey! Back up.
Do not do that, all right?
I'd like to press charges for assault.
Okay.
Now, that video was posted Memorial Day weekend by Zay by Day on Instagram, and you might think like, oh, that must have been the Deep South. No, y'all, that was Columbus, Ohio. That was the Sons of the Confederacy pulling that shit in Columbus, Ohio. And Zay decided to carry out a one-man protest against racism. A white man using his privilege. I mean, it could have ended much worse for him, but he would not sit down while there were racists in his community celebrating the Confederacy. And it seems like his group is going to have another protest because at the Camp Chase Cemetery there in Columbus, there is going to be a Daughters of the Confederacy event on June 14th. That's Flag Day. I will link to Chase's Instagram in the video description, so check that out. Okay, here's the second video. Okay, so that was two men wheat pasting protest signs saying we should be funding Medicaid and food stamps and not endless, pointless war. And I couldn't help but watch that video and then the one earlier and not think, wow, these are essentially the same thing. These are the same thing, and they are both an example to all of us. Because I think sometimes we can fall into this false thinking that it has to be giant, massive protests in the streets like the ones we're seeing in Albania right now, which are amazing. Amazing. That's one really effective way to resist authoritarianism, to enact change, right? Albanians have been protesting for many, many days against Jared Kushner and Ivanka Trump trying to purchase Sazan Island, which is a protected island off the coast of Albania, and it is also a strategic military site where Jared Kushner says he wants to put in luxury hotels. That's land that belongs to the people of Albania, and the prime minister has obviously corrupt, has at the last minute tried to change the laws so he could sell that off to a private corporation, Jared Kushner's Development Corporation. So the people of Albania are protesting in huge numbers. And it's very dramatic, it's visually captivating, it draws our attention to Albania when we might otherwise not notice what's happening over there. Like huge, massive public protest, incredibly, incredibly powerful. We can kind of stumble into fallacious thinking, believing that the only way that change is brought about, the only kind of effective protest, is protest that is big and loud and public and where tons of people come together. It's important, but it's not the only way. When we talk about the 3.5% rule, that means 3.5% of the population engaged in daily sustained resistance. And that doesn't have to be giant protests in the streets, although I think we're going to need them after the November elections. I think Republicans are going to make it necessary. They're not going to respect the results of the midterms. And so giant protests in the streets may be necessary, but it requires so much more than that. It requires ordinary, everyday people like the men in these videos saying, I will not bend the knee. I will not stay silent. I will do my small part. In permaculture, we say slow, small solutions. We say many hands make light work. We say slow and steady wins the race. And we say that it is each of us shouldering our little portion of the burden, or understanding that it is a privilege to pick up and engage in our share of the work, right? That is how we accomplish change. And so often, early in 2025, we were saying, do not comply in advance, do not obey, do not bend the knee. And I think we need to kind of rekindle more of that thinking of like, it is, how can we, in every small way throughout the day, what are the small, measurable, impactful ways that we can just say, fuck you to fascism? And it doesn't have to be giant. It doesn't have to be a general strike. It doesn't have to be huge numbers of people. Those men were acting essentially on their own. They were saying, I will not be quiet in the face of all. I will not let this be. I will not let war be normalized. I will not let racism be normalized. None of this is okay. And people have to stand up and speak out against it. Even when there are consequences. There aren't a ton of consequences for wheat pasting, but maybe you live in a super red district and you could get beat up for that, or maybe the cops are not super friendly to you. Look at that man in Columbus, Ohio, and how although really not surprising considering how red Ohio is now, he risked physical injury. He went by himself. Like, what an act of courage to stand up and do the right thing, to refuse to let racism go unanswered. I don't know, I just, watching these videos, I saw them a couple of weeks apart, but I had clipped and saved them on my phone because immediately when I saw one of the Confederate cemetery, I was like, that's a young man doing the same thing as those older gentlemen in that video. It is all of the small ways that we refuse to comply. We push back in any and every small way that we can. And those ways really, really matter. It can seem like it's not enough. It can seem like it's not big and flashy enough, but those ways truly matter. And so however you are able to access resistance, however you are able to say, fuck you to fascism and refuse to allow any of this to be normalized, like that is effective resistance, and it really, really matters. And if you have a moment, I would love to hear from you in the comments. What are the ways that you have been refusing to bend the knee? What are the ways that you push back against the regime on a regular basis? They may be small things, but they truly matter, and I'd love to hear about them.